I think I got a message that one guy got removed. Someone, can you check with him? I think Abhijit got removed. So we have the recording on. So tell me, where can you remember what we discussed in the last session? What are the different types of business we can have? Or two types of business we have. Anybody wants to give it a try? Nobody? Let me ask by name. Shoibi?
No, sir.
So we talked about B2B and B2C.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
What is B2B and what is B2C?
When a business is catering to a business and when a business is catering to people, customers directly.
That's correct. So this is company selling to a company. And this is company selling to individual. Yeah. So these are the two kinds of business. We'll first look at B2B business because that's the largest corporate business will work with B2B side. We'll discuss this, and B2C we can see how minor differences will that be. So a company selling to company, so a company who is a seller and a company who is a buyer. So who is purchasing Salesforce? Which
The
company?
company is the company which sells is
seller.
buying the sell.
Selling company. Okay. Now let's see the buyer side and the seller side. So this is the selling company and the buying company. Seller has employees. Buyers also have employees. Right? So when we purchase Salesforce, which is purchased by seller, what do we call that in Salesforce term? Org. Okay, that means organization. Org is the details of the seller company. Seller will have its own instance. That means a log. There can be numerous customers. Let's see, he has 10 employees. And this guy has 20 employees. So let's take some example. Reebok is selling shoes, right? And caps to a company called TCS. TCS has a marathon event for employees, their internal employees, and TCS is ordering 200 caps and shoes. Yeah. So TCS becomes a customer for Reebok. Reebok will have a deal of 100 caps and 100 shoes for TCS. The employees of sellers will be able to log into Salesforce, or employees of buyers will be able to log into Salesforce?
Seller.
Seller. So in Salesforce term, the employees who log into Salesforce are called users.
The employee of sellers.
So the employees of sellers will have a login to Salesforce, and in Salesforce term, we will call them users. Okay. Where are we storing the buyer information in Salesforce? There are two tables. One table called account and one table called contact. Account is storing the company information. Contact is storing the employee information of that company. Clear? So there are three tables we already discussed. User table is storing the employees of sellers. Account table is storing the buying companies. Contact table is storing the employees of the buying companies. So let's now discuss account. So one of the account is TCS. TCS is one row in that table. And let's have two employees of TCS, like Shobhanjit Ghosh and Animesh Banerjee. So this is contact. What is the relationship between account and contact? one-to-one, one-to-many, or many-to-many. How does we define
One to many.
one-to-many? Which side is one? Which side is many?
Account is one, content is with many.
And contact is many. Anybody else disagrees, or anybody else has any other options in mind?
No, sir.
This is n, not m. Okay, many times people say many, so but why is n? N means n number of things. Okay, n can be any number. That is what why it is called a one to many. So the relationship of one to many is shown like this: 3 fork and a fork, and this side is one. Okay, one to many. That means one TCS account is connected to two contacts, isn't it? So we have two tables, and we also see what is the relationship between these two tables. Great, fantastic. Now we go to another table, which is called the product table. This is the another table which is storing the products. What are the products? Shoes, with caps, and other products can be also possible. Right? This is the master table, not related to anything else. Now, when you go to a restaurant or any shop, can you buy a product just by looking at the product names?
No, sir, we need to see the details.
You need to see what?
The details like the price, maybe where
Price.
it was made, the content material of which it is made, stuff like that.
Correct. Let's talk about price. So shoes and caps, these are the two products we are discussing about Reebok, right? So when you talk about price, like if you go to a restaurant, where will you see the price?
In the tag,
The
sir.
menu.
In the menu. Absolutely. In the menu. Every organization will have a menu. So there is another table called a table. I will name that table later. But I'm storing the menu. Now tell me, can an organization like Reebok have only one menu, or it can have multiple?
Multiple.
It can have.
Give me an example where it can have multiple menu.
It can have different types of caps. So maybe one menu for.
No, one product.
One product, it can only have one menu.
One product can only have one menu. So if you are purchasing Reebok in India, it will be $100, 100 rupees, or 1,000 rupees. And if you purchase Reebok in America, it will be $100. One menu card will handle both?
No, sir.
No, sir.
So we'll need two menu cards, one for USA, one for India, isn't it?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
So in Salesforce, the menu card is called price book. This table is called price book, not menu. Okay. So how many price book do we have now? USA and India. Okay. What is the relationship between product and price book? One to many, one to one, many to many. What do you think?
One to many.
One product can have multiple price.
Yes, sir. Depending on the countries it's been selling on.
And one menu card will always have only one product. Right?
Many to many.
No, sir. Many to many, sir. One product can have two menus or three menus.
So
if we are selling.
one to many from both sides, it becomes a many to many relationship.
Okay.
It showcases like this. You don't need another line. So why we are saying this? Let's see that. USA and India. So USA can have shoes and caps. India can have shoes and caps. Shoes can exist in USA menu card, India menu card. Caps can also exist in USA menu card, India menu card. Many-to-many relationship, right? In Salesforce, we cannot have many-to-many relationship between two tables directly. You need indirect relationships. How is that done? It is done using another object. So there is no many-to-many relationship directly between two tables. We cannot have this. So what we need to bring another table which will have one-to-many relationship from both sides. Okay, let's see how that works. So here I have two records. In this table, I have two rows. One is shoes and a cap. This will have USA and India. Here there will be 4 records. What will be there? It will be shoe, USA, shoe, India, cap, USA, cap, India. Clear? And there can be many other columns in that table. Now we have the price, most importantly part. Where will you store this? In this table, this table, this table?
So can you please repeat that?
Third.
Price book. See, we have the price, right? For every product, we have a
Yes,
price.
sir. Yes, sir.
Which table do you think is the ideal to store the price, and why?
Third table,
Why?
because
the relationship is one to many. We cannot directly comprehend many-to-many relationships, so that's why we have been using the third table.
That discussion is over.
Okay.
We have a new table, which is a one-to-many relationship from both sides. So many-to-many relationship is now established using this table.
Okay.
We call this table called mapping table.
Mapping table.
Okay.
Okay.
Whenever you have to create a many-to-many relationship between two tables, you have to create another table. Simple.
Okay, sir.
Now tell me about the price. Where will you store the price? Which table? Will you store in product? Will you store in price book? Or will you store in this table?
mapping table, in the mapping table.
Why?
Because it can, then we can we store the price over there, and then if say for USA we need the price for USA, then we can use that in the USA price book. I guess I'm not wording this correctly.
No, you're not. Anybody else wants to give a try?
I think categorizing the price in the mapping table will help us to get an overview of all the things at the same time. Maybe that's why the price need to be
Don't
added.
give logical replies. Give me what is the give me what is the practical problem. What if I store for the price here? So for shoe, if I store the price here, what is the practical problem if I store the price here in this table? So imagine a table. It is called shoe, one column, and second column is called price. So can I store the price here on this table? What is the problem if I store the price here?
It is the product table, so
That's fine. It is the price of the product, so it can be a column in that same table. Why not?
but then the for different country we can't use the same price.
That's correct. Absolutely. That is the answer I'm looking for. If I put a price column here, what country's price is this? I cannot specify, right?
Yes,
that
sir.
information is not there in the product table. Which country's price is this? Right? Same problem goes here. So if I have a country information here and I put a price, I don't know which product's price is this. This is the only table which gives me which product, which country, and what price. $100. Which country? Which country? Rupees $1,000. Yeah. This is $200. Simple. $2,000. 2,000 rupees. Clear? So price is stored here because we have the two necessary components needed to name the price only in this table. Okay. This table, the physical name of this table is price book entry. These are all standard tables. Salesforce has already given these tables to you. You don't have to create anything. Okay. So price book, product, price book entry, and price book entry is the mapping table we discussed. Now let's talk about deal. So this time we are talking about deal. What is a deal or order? And this is product, right? Before discussing product and deal discussion, let me first create a relationship between account and deal. So this is account and this is deal object. The account object has one row called TCS, and deal or order object in Salesforce is called opportunity. Okay. So let's see March opportunity, March order, February order, and so on. Monthly I do a ordering. What is the relationship between account and opportunity?
One to many.
Can I have a man-to-many relationship between account and opportunity?
No, because that is TCS's account, and over there the opportunities are many, like for March, from February, and so on.
Mhm.
So one to many.
One-to-many relationship. Absolutely right. One account or one company can have multiple orders. Can you go to Flipkart and place an order for two different people at one shot? Not possible, right? You are only placing an order for yourself. Yeah. Otherwise, you will not know which product goes to whom. So one order can only be for a single customer. Now the customer term is used many times here. So account object and contact object are both together called customers because those table together is storing your customer information. Whose customer information? Seller's customer information. Seller's customer is whom? The buyers. Right? You are right now understanding this or seeing this from the eyes of a seller because you have purchased Salesforce. You have become a seller. So you are seeing the application like a seller. For you, the buyer is a customer and the customer information is getting stored in account and contact tables. Clear?
Yes, sir.
Any questions? Anybody? Any confusion? So account and opportunity relationship is one to many. Let's go to opportunity and product now. Opportunity and product. So opportunity is March order, February order. Product is shoe, cap. What is the relationship between these two?
Many to many.
So how will you create a many-to-many relationship?
Again, a mapping table.
With using a mapping table. So there is again a mapping table. And why many-to-many? Because March can have shoe, March can have cap, February can have shoe, February can have cap. While placing an order, a critical information is quantity, right? We are placing an order of 100 caps, 200 shoes,
Yes,
something like that. Which table is the right table to store quantity out of these three?
Sir, can you repeat once again? I
For
missed.
placing an order, quantity information is important, right? How many? How many caps? How many shoes are you placing the order for? Isn't it?
Sir,
So where will you store the quantity information? Opportunity, product, or the mapping table?
mapping table.
Why?
Because say like the March order has 5 shoes, and the February and has 3 caps, and the February order has 10 shoes and 2 caps. So then if I put the number, if I need to put the numbers, then I don't know where to put them. Like if I put them in the product table, then I don't know if the cap is for March or for February. And if I put the numbers in the orders, then I don't know whether it's for the caps or the shoes. So the mapping table is where I put the numbers.
Very well articulated. Great. So we understand why quantity is stored in this mapping table. Because this is the only table which gives us which product, which order, both the information, right? The quantity is relevant to an order and a product. And you can store that only in a table which gives you both the information. Otherwise, this makes no sense. If the quantity is stored here, I don't know which product. If a quantity is stored here, I don't know which order. Right? Any queries? Any questions? Okay, now let's see a salesman's journey. Think that you have got a new job and you are the salesman of Reebok. How will you start your day?
So, before in the next slide, so basically, these tables basically they can't contain 3 columns, right? Mane, only the mapping table can have multiple columns or maybe 3 columns, but then the opportunity or the product or say in case of the previous ones in the price book also, so they can't contain 3 columns.
Every table in Salesforce can have 800 columns. It's a certification question. Okay.
Ah, okay, okay.
Every Salesforce object can have at max 800 columns. The product can also have 800 columns. Price book can also have 800 columns. Mapping table can also have 800 columns. Before moving into this, a small thing I missed out. Let me mention that. What is this table called then? This is also a mapping table, type of table. But what is the name of this table? Usually, mapping table are named by the parents. So this is called opportunity product. Okay. Sometimes it is also called opportunity line items. Okay. Opportunity product. Just add the names of these two, and that's it. That's how the naming convention goes in mapping tables. Okay. So how many tables did we discuss so far? Give me the names. Forgot already.
Price book table, sir. Price book entry table, product table.
Hold on. Let me write it down. So price book stores what?
Price book stores the price of the items.
Price book stores the price of the item. এই শেখালাম এতক্ষণ ধরে।
মানে
This
স্যার
is what?
না, price book stores the
ইউএসএ কোন কোন জায়গাতে সেল হচ্ছে
price.
মেনু হ্যাঁ
Okay, menu headers. That's it. Then what table?
প্রাইস বুক এন্ট্রি স্যার
Stores what?
কোন কান্ট্রিতে মেনু প্লাস প্রাইস
Nah, menu is already stored in price book. It stores what? Only the price.
ওকে
They'll tell me. Pardon my handwriting. I hardly use pen nowadays. Only for this training, probably I am using this pen. That too is not a real pen. It's a Apple Pencil. Anyway,
No, sir, it's
so handwriting has gone for a toss. Anyway, tell me in the other tables.
ছিল।
Opportunity product table.
মানে প্যারেন্ট টেবিলগুলোর নামগুলো ভুলে গিয়ে আগে চাইল্ড টেবিলের নামগুলো বলতে হবে।
Opportunity,
Opportunity. What does it store?
the orders for
Stores
the
or-
month.
Or deals. Deal header, right? Then what?
Yes. The product.
Account, sir, contacts,
Product. Stores what? Products. Then what?
sir, accounts হবে।
Account. Stores what?
Account, sir, seller company information, sorry,
Seller-
buyer company information,
Company. Company name. Or
contact, sir,
company details. Contact. Contact stores what?
employees information,
Employees of who?
buyer, sorry, seller,
Seller.
no sir, buyer দুটোরই buyer, account আর contactor,
Okay. So employees of companies. These companies. Any? What else?
The users of that org,
Users. Stores what?
employees of the
Employees of
Seller.
seller.
seller. Okay. What else? 7. Look at it closely. Which? So opportunity and product mapping table is there, right?
yes sir,
What is the name?
opportunity product, sir.
Opportunity product table.
Opportunity product. What is the store this one? Stores what?
The quantity, sir,
Quantity. Great. So 8 tables we have discussed so far.
yes sir,
Okay, these are standard tables of Salesforce. Okay, so these are in Salesforce, tables are called objects. Okay, columns of a table is called fields. Rows of a table are called records. Clear? So I will stop using table term. I will stop using column now. I will stop using rows now. Right now, I will start using these terms. Yeah. Objects, fields, and records. Now, who wants to give me a? Now we'll go to a seller. You have joined as a seller, new salesman of Reebok. How will you start your day? What will you do? Tell me.
Okay, sir, the question once again, please.
You have got a new job. You are the new salesman of Reebok. You have joined your company. This is your first day. You have been tasked to sell shoes and caps. What will you do? How will you start your day?
sir, accounts তো যাবো sir,
হ্যাঁ
accounts তো যাবো,
অ্যাকাউন্টসে যাবে কোন অ্যাকাউন্ট?
I mean buyers account এ, যদি আমি সেলসম্যান হই তাহলে তো আমাকে সেল করতে হবে,
তুমি যদি সেলসম্যান হও আর অন্য লোকের অ্যাকাউন্টে যদি যাও সে তোমায় মেরে তাড়িয়ে দেবে, বলবে তুমি আমার কাস্টমারের কাছে গেছো কেন?
ওকে স্যার,
তোমার জব ওই দিনই শেষ হয়ে গেল। অন্য সেলসম্যান তোমার নামে কমপ্লেন করে দেবে। So let's tell me, how will you start your day?
So maybe like previous record দেখা বা কিরকম কি
What previous record?
যে বিক্রি হয়েছে সেটা
Company already has existing customers. Existing customers is getting sold by existing salesmen. You have been asked to find new customers. How will you do that? So all of
যারা potential buyer আছে
how will
তাদের
you find potential buyers?
আহ, যারা রিসেন্টলি এটা কোথাও আহ, খুঁজেছে বা কিনেছে, না কিনেছে না, বা খুঁজেছে, বা আহ,
How will you
কোনো
find that information? Imagine yourself as the salesman. Today you have to start your day, show some activity that you have worked on finding new customers, or you have found a customer today. How will you work? How will you start your day? So Shobhan, who is right now in the call, I don't know. Shobhan, is you there?
Yeah, I'm there.
Shobhan has been selling for 18 years. So I think a salesman's journey can not be described anybody better than Shobhanji Ghosh. Shobhan, you want to highlight if I am a new joiner in Reebok,
Mm-hmm.
how can I find a new customer?
Yeah, I think these people can give us the idea because this is very basics. I want to hear from you guys. So can you tell me how you get? Okay, so here we are having Ovijit, Shoibi, and Swastika. So, Shostika, where do you find your, how do you find your churidar and sharis? How do you get?
Go to store and buy it.
Go to store and buy.
Uh,
Okay. And how do you get these stores? How do you get these dukans? So, anyways, topic is how do we find customer? Correct.
Yeah, the first guy who has just joined in a
Company.
company, how will
Hmm.
he start his day? I have
Yeah.
asked him, and it turns out that nobody of our team members can be a good salesman because they do not know how to start as a salesman.
Correct. Correct. Yeah, so Shostika, tell me that if your mother says that I want to buy a Benaresi sari, Shostika, please help me out. So how do you find a good Benaresi sari? Tell me.
Go to mini store and find it.
Yeah, go to many store. It is fine. I understand that the Benaresi sari is stored in a stores, and you will go to one of the stores. That is fine. But how do you get a, store? How do you know that the Benaresi sari is located or stored in this kind of a store? How do you know? Okay, let's talk to Shoibi. Shoibi, if you want to buy a watch, how do you get a watch?
sir, I know from the store's advertisements
Hmm,
ki they have this kind of watch. So
hmm,
if I want that kind of watch, I will go to that store, or
hmm.
maybe like basically from the advertisements from those stores, because if someone is trying to sell something, then they need to advertise that these are the products that we
So
have.
if you do not have any advertisement, that how do you get a watch? If you want to buy a watch for a birthday gift for Pollo, how do you search for a watch to buy? The good watch to buy and to give it to your brother. There is no advertisement. So, how do you get a good watch?
Search online.
Search online, okay? Or what are the options?
go to the store and ask.
Yeah, you have to get the watch by next 1 hour. But by online booking, it will come after 1 day or after 2 days. So you have to buy immediately within 1 hour, and you have to go to Shodhpur, and you have to give to Pallov for a birthday gift. So how do you get a watch? And you
Go
do
to
not
the
know where the watch shops are there in your area. Abhijit,
Sir, I will ask someone
you'll ask
like
someone where a good watch can be purchased,
found.
correct?
Yes, yes, sir.
And anything else? So first of
Mm,
all, you have already answered. Shoibi has answered that he will search online. You, Shobijit, you are saying that you will ask for a referral.
yes,
And
sir.
Shwastika says that, yeah, I will go to the market and I will search for the shari or salwar kameez. So the three ways you can get a option where you can get your desired product. One is you have to go to every opportunities, or you have to go to every options, and then you will buy and you will search. Second, you will get a list of a watch, or you will get a list of stores where you can get the watch to buy. That means you have already a data. Or third, what Ovijit has said, that you have a referral, or you know someone who has already purchased a watch, and he will take his option. So there is a referral. So all these options, referrals, going to all the retail shops to search which one is the watch shop, or searching for online opportunities, you do not know where to get, na. So you will go every stop, you will go every retail, and there you will find where is the watch shop is. That means whatever the data you have, or wherever you are going to search for a watch, all are the options, all are the leads. Whenever you leave your house, you will go to a Monjinis. The right side of your house, there is a Monjinis. You cannot buy a watch from a Monjini shop, na. But you will go. So it is an option. Then you will go to another shop. There might be a watch you can buy, and there may be another shop. So in the whole day, if you search for a watch, maybe there are 5 shops where a watch can be purchased, and out of these 5 retail shops, watch shops, you will buy hardly from one shop. That is your final destination, or that can be said that that is the store where you want to, or you want to get your desired shop. So all these 5 stores where the shops are, or where the shops can be purchased, are your leads. A salesman, now you think about yourself as a salesman. A salesman like Shoibi, who wants to sell a watch to his customer or her customer, then what he will or she will do? He will go to the market, he will target every shop. Say, sir, can you take my watch? It is a very beneficial for you. These are the USPs, these are the features. So you have to go to every shop, and out of 10 shops, there might be opportunity where 5% will say you, okay, you have come. I may take the watch from you. Come tomorrow. So you will write down the leads and the list of leads in your diary or in your Excel sheet, that these are the 5 shops where the shopkeeper tells me that I will take your watch, come tomorrow. Someone tells come after 7 days. Someone say come after 1 month. So you will write down all these 5 stores, and you will comment that this person says that he asked me to come tomorrow. This person says that he asked me to come on after 7 days. So whatever the list you have made to tell your senior or your manager that I have already went to the market, I have visited these 5 accounts or 5 customers or 5 companies, and out of 5, maybe there is a possibility where these 5 contacts or where these 5 companies may take my watch. So these 5 options or these 5 opportunities, where these 5 stores are your leads, where you are going every day, and where these leads become your final hot, warm, or cold kind of a lead or prospect.
I think I will say
Something like
simplify. I think I will simplify. I think they are facing a hard time. So again, I'm going back to my original question. Today is your first day. You have joined Reebok. How will you find your customer? Choibi, I will ask you once again. How do you think now, after this whole discussion, there is a lot of like tips given by Shobhanji. How you now want to reform your question, like answer, or anybody else who wants to give?
Find leads.
Find leads. Good. So what are leads then?
Opportunities where I can sell my product.
Okay. Then I can mention them as prospective customers.
Sir.
May or may not become your customers, right? If they may or may not become customer is the opposition, is the parameter. Can I store that in the accountable? Accountable is storing my customers. Can I store a prospective customer also in account?
No.
Then I need a new table, right, to store my prospective customers, right?
Yes. Yes, sir.
That table is called lead. I have another table called lead. Okay, now tell me, a lead is a person or a lead is a company?
It can be both, sir.
So when you try to sell something, do you go to a company and sell? Or do you contact the employee of that company and have a discussion?
Employee.
So contact the employee, sir.
Contact the employee. So you know that my colleague has already sold to TCS. I will ask my colleague, does Cognizant also buy from us? He said, no, they are not our customers. Then you see a prospective customer in Cognizant. Cognizant may or may not entertain you, right?
Yes, sir.
So you will find a person in Cognizant to reach out and ask him, do you have any requirement for shoes or caps? Clear?
Okay.
Now, Cognizant is not a customer yet. Cognizant may or may not be interested in your proposition or your products. But does it make sense to store the lead in Salesforce? If that is not a customer, why should I even think about storing that information? What is the benefit of doing that?
They may become a customer in the future.
Great. There is a possibility that right now they might be interested, but later they might be interested. In sales terminology, when anybody says no, it should be interpreted as not today. Okay. When they're saying no, I don't want your product, that means they are basically telling you, I don't want your product today. The salesman will go back to the same customer who has said no after some days and say and knock and find out if there is an opportunity now. Right? So
Yes.
then that is a point, storing those information so that I can hit them again, the possibility of going back to them again. Any other reasons you think it might be beneficial of storing leads apart from hitting them once again? What if you store this in your own notebook and you do not update this information in Salesforce? then what is the problem for your company? Is there a problem for your company? If you don't log the lead or you don't enter the details of the lead, you just kept it on your mobile phone, that's it. Any problems with that approach?
So maybe they don't want shoes and caps, which which I'm selling right now. Maybe in the future I will sell something else which they might want, or which they already
discuss. So there is an opportunity to go back to them. That's why, with new propositions, new deals, new products, of course. But if I don't log that information, you already have that information, but you have not entered in Salesforce. What is the problem if you do not enter that information in Salesforce and you store it yourself?
So a lead will be missed
This will be missed by whom?
by the company.
Lead will be missed by the company. So what is the problem? It is not a customer.
So
You have the
company
information. You can go back to the customer once again at your desired time, because you have that lead information. But if you have not entered in Salesforce, then what is the problem?
So maybe like they don't want it now, they want it tomorrow, and I'm not there tomorrow. My colleague is there, so he also won't be able to like take that opportunity.
Great.
Because the lead was not there.
Very good point. So the data has to be shared to other salesmen so that they have an opportunity of cross-selling other things. Not only your products, maybe other things, other products. Right? So lead can be shared between people of your organization. Then only there is a possibility, or they can already know that I am not duplicating effort. This month already a salesman, you are selling shoes and caps. Somebody is selling t-shirts. A t-shirt person can see in the system that shoes and cap has been denied by Cognizant, but maybe they have a requirement for t-shirt, right? So they have adequate information to go back to them, and they do not repeat the mistakes which a other salesman has already done. Otherwise, you will only frustrate your potential customers, right? They will pick up the phone and will say, I already said no to your executive. Why are you calling back once again? We don't want to irritate our potential customers, right? If they said no, it's no. Let's reserve that and let's go back to them after a year. But on the same month, maybe on the next day, is not a good idea, right? But if you're not sharing the lead, nobody will know about it. Right? So sharing lead, understanding the lead, that is the reason why company information. Secondly, a salesman, usually in market, it is said that a salesman can convert only 10% of the leads to customers. So if you reach out to 10 people, only one will say, yes, I will buy your product. That is a usual ratio. Okay. 1:10 ratio for almost all industries. If that is the case, how will you tell your manager what you have worked on the whole day? Probably you did not close a single deal, and it is quite possible. That is salesman's life. In order to showcase that you are working, you have to show the leads to your manager. As you see, I have contacted 220 people today. Productivity of your salesman is understood by logging the leads, because the manager otherwise does not know what you are working on and what is your conversion ratio. How good are you doing? What problems are you facing? We can analyze the data of leads and find out why we are failing. What are the reasons? Which products are customer not getting interested in? Which products customer are really getting interested in? Which leads are getting converted into customers? So whenever the salesman journey is like this, so he will go and find a lead, check whether he's interested or not. If he's interested, then we will convert the lead. Salesforce will automatically convert a lead into two records in two different tables, account table and contact table. So this lead will become a contact. The company information of the lead will become the account. right? You can also convert this lead to another record called opportunity. You may or may not, optional. And then you have to add products to it. Products is added in opportunity product table, right? And that's how the deal is closed. So these are the objects that a salesman will use. Clear? Let's see that now. Anybody who has not yet started Trailhead? You can launch Salesforce from your create a new playground. Meanwhile, let it be there. I will show you how a lead works. So Salesforce, this is Salesforce. A salesman is logged in. This is the app launcher on the left. You can change different apps. The apps right now the salesman is using is basically the sales app. You can open this in using mobile phone also. There is a Salesforce app you can download from Play Store or Google Play. Salesforce, just search with Salesforce. You can log in using that app also. It's free, so don't worry about it. I will tell you how you'll get the login and password later. Right now, you're launching it from this place. So the salesman will start his day by creating a lead. Which lead? Maybe I am today trying to sell to Soybean. And the company is Cognizant. Right? This is a person. This is not a company. It's a person. What are the steps? What are the stages? The lead is now in open stage. If I am working on the lead, I will mark it as the current state status. I can also change the status in the detailed. Here, all the fields of the lead object can be seen. And basically, I am changing the status of this lead status to the same values, which I see here. Open, contacted, closed, not converted. The same thing, which you're seeing here. Same. If you change here, it also reflects here. I can work on a lead, like maybe I have contacted this person. So I will log a call. Contacted her and she seems interested. I am tracking the activities which is happening on that lead. Activity is again connected, is another table which is storing the activities, what you are doing. We'll get to that. It is also a standard object. You can create new task, like I have to email her after 3 days on some topics. So I store it. So this is upcoming task. Okay. I can create a new event, like I want to set up a meeting with her on so and so dates. Meeting. And then I can also mail her from here directly. I don't need to go to my email box. I can just type hi. Get this question today. Okay. So all these activities which you are doing with these customers are tracked in your this activity timeline. Okay. And this is the detail where you keep on changing. Like I get an email ID, a website of the company. Now I can update it here. I can do anything else. When this either then it is not converted, that means the lead is not interested at this point, or I can say it is converted. Whenever it is converted, you see it is trying to create an account called Cognizant. It is trying to create a contact from the lead itself, and it is also creating an opportunity. Maybe it is a May opportunity. Yeah? And I convert. So now 3 tables will have 3 records. In account, I have created a customer. In contact, I have created an employee of that customer. I have also created an order for that customer. These are all different tables. The leads is now gone because this is no longer a lead. So now I will go to account and I will see Cognizant is an account here. So this is different tabs are different objects usually. So if I go to contact, I can see Shoibi. If I go to the opportunity, I can see the Cognizant May order has been created. If you go to account, you will see Shoibi is already there. Maybe I need to also connect with the HR department. So I can go to the account and you see account is already pre-populated here. And probably I will say that OBGP is needed here. So now one-to-many relationship. Cognizant has 2 contacts already. I am working with these 2 people. So he was initial lead. I converted her, but now I am also dealing with another person. Maybe from the procurement department of Cognizant. Right? And I can have May and June order both. So this is also one-to-many relationship. So Cognizant June order. So I can create opportunity from here. I have to give a close date, which is a mandatory field. I have to give a status, like I am just starting off discussion for June. I can straight away go and create contacts from here also. Just there is a big drop down. You can use this for create new contacts. You can use this for create new contacts. Anything. It opens the same window. Same with opportunity. You can use this one, new opportunity, or you can hit the new button here. If you are using the tab from here, then you have to search for the account in order to associate it. If you are creating a contact opportunity from account, then the association is already created for you. So you don't have to fill up that detail. Now, let's go to the opportunity because now I am working on the May order. So May order does not have any product. By default, Salesforce gives us a standard price book, one menu already given. So I can I don't need to choose any price book because standard price book is already there. You see, standard price book is already there. So I just now go and add product. So I will say that these 2 product. So I can see the list price of this. So where from I am getting this information? Which table or tables?
Price book entry, sir.
Price book entry. But price book entry does have product names?
No, sir.
Then both tables are getting used, right?
Yes, sir.
So this is price book entry mainly. Yeah, but we are getting information from the parent also. Now we have another screen. Now we selected 2 products. They is asking us to enter quantities. So where are we storing this then? Which table? These 2 rows.
Quantity is stored in opportunity product table, sir, right?
Absolutely. So this is getting stored in opportunity product table. This is a child table of the opportunity. When we have a one-to-many relationship, the one side is called parent, the many relationship is called child. If the child has two parents, that becomes a mapping table. Any questions? Any confusion? You can also see that whatever you worked on the lead is now carried over to the opportunity. You can still keep on working on that. And then finally, you close the deal. Either you have won it or lost it. And that's it. That is how a salesman will work in his day. Any questions?
স্যার আমরা কি রেকর্ডিংটা পাবো? অ্যাকচুয়ালি নেটওয়ার্কের ডিস্টার্বের জন্য আমি আগের পার্টটা মিস করে গেছি।
It will be uploaded on YouTube. I will share the link.
থ্যাংক ইউ স্যার।
Any questions so far? Great. So we have seen what Salesforce works and how a salesman works. But this is the table, this is the feature of Salesman. You are learning Salesforce not to work as a salesman. You are learning Salesforce to make changes which is necessary for the salesman. That means to help the salesman with their day-to-day business. You are not going to sell. What is your job? To change Salesforce, right? How can you change Salesforce? Just like in your mobile phone, you go to settings to make changes to Salesforce. In Salesforce also, you have the setup to make changes to Salesforce. This is the window on which the system administrators, which you are people, you will be working on. Okay? How will we work on these areas and how we'll make changes on Salesforce? We'll start from next class. Clear?
Yes, sir.
Great weekend ahead.
Same to you, sir.